Hi everyone, welcome back. We've got a lot to show you today. Today, Blake and I are going to make homemade potato chips. Coming out this summer is the brand new Tupperware Spiralizer. Not only can it spiralize, but it also can make sheets, or what would you call it? Like a ring of something. You'll see as we work with the potatoes. But this is going to cut this potato into very thin slices, and then Blake is going to use our chef's knife to cut the rings in at the right angle to lay them down as potato chips, and we're going to bake them. So I've already put our potato in here. I'll show you how that works with the next one. But I'm going to simply spin this, and as you can see, the potato is coming out in a spiral sheet, and once it gets to the end, like I mentioned, Blake is going to cut them into potato chip size pieces, and there we go. Now, the great thing about the spiralizer is it has a lot of neat features. For example, once I get to the end of my piece of produce, I'm going to turn this ring right here, which releases the handle, and all I have to do is pull this back out. I can remove the end of the potato, and when I'm completely done working, I can pull it all the way out, and this is easy to clean. So I'm going to put this back in. Now, the second potato, again, all I have to do is stick this potato in here, and instead of having to crank it to get it tight, I can just push this all the way and then turn that ring back again. I'm going to wait till Blake's done so I'm not. Meanwhile, he's, like I said, he's using the chef's knife. When he's done, we're going to put them in our That's a bowl. We're going to put some olive oil, sprinkle that on there, and then mix it up. I keep my oil in the new Tupperware counterscaping container. Looks really nice on your counter instead of having the olive oil bottle from the grocery store. I'm going to mix it all up with the silicone spatula, and then once I lay the potato chips onto the cooking sheet, I'm going to sprinkle it with just a little bit of salt. I use one of my Tupperware teaspoons. And as you can see here, on my cookie sheet, we already made a test batch, that's why it's hot. I use the Tupperware Wonder Mat. It's a silicone mat, so I don't have to spray my pan or butter it or anything like that, and everything slides right off. Doesn't stick at all. Easy to clean. I put it in the sink, just kind of use a tiny bit of soap, scrub it on both sides, dry it off, roll it up, goes right back in my drawer in my counter. So, put those in there. I'm going to start spiralizing this one so Blake can get cutting some more potato chips. And there we go. Pull that right off. I'm going to take out my spinner, pull out the small extra piece of potato. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but as I'm doing this, this is not moving at all. In fact, I can really yank on it and it's not moving. Right down here in the base, there's a suction cup, so once I turn this ring, it loosens the suction cup and comes right off. But when this is suctioned to your counter, it does not move. As I mentioned earlier, there's several different blades that you can use. Simply push down on this little tab. You can pull out this blade. And then if I wanted to julienne some potatoes, I could. Or I could use this blade, which is also the spiralizer, and that would help me make zoodles for my family instead of using pasta. Again, everything is super easy to clean. So I'm going to start to put a little bit of oil in this bowl. Simply push the lid, the cap on the lid. I'm just going to pour a little bit, I'm going to put a little extra in because Blake's going to add some potatoes. I'm going to toss these up. in my That's a Bowl. He's going to add some more in there. I know it's kind of hard to see. My That's a Bowl is very well used, so well loved. And then once he's done with that, we're going to start to put these onto the Wonder Mat on my cooking sheet. I'm actually going to come around here. And I'm going to start to lay some of these out. I suppose if your hands are clean, you can just do this with your hands too. You could cut part of this out while I'm putting these in.
We may need a second cookie sheet.
I think we're going to be good. Nice thing about these, rather than cookies, is we don't need to space them out too far. All right, looking good. I'll throw that one on. Perfect. All right. So we're gonna take these. We're gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt on them.
Using the Tupperware measuring spoon.
There we go. And we're gonna put them in the oven.
At 400 degrees. We're going to let them bake for about 18 minutes. And this is the finished product. Some nice, delicious potato chips.
Our taste tester is back for another episode. Here you go. Give it a try. Those are surprisingly good.
They are really, really good.
Thanks, Noah. All right, super easy to make your own homemade potato chips. Fresh, you know there's no preservatives in them. You can add as much or as little salt as you want.
You can add probably paprika or other seasonings to them to add some spice.
Yeah. So, thanks for joining us again. We'll see you next time.